I'm going to do a quick video on how to raise quality queens, small scale, really easy, doesn't need a lot of extra stuff. Um, got two big colonies here, one on the right's a little bit bigger, we're going to get on the right. If you notice, the one on the right's got a queen excluder in it. It's a queen right colony. I'm going to show you how to raise queens in a queen right colony. Can be done. Okay, we kind of tore this down. You can see the excluder down in there. This is a queen right colony. This is mediums. I'm actually going to put a deep frame in here. My graph frame's a deep frame, even though this is mediums. I don't usually run a lot of mediums, but I got these colonies actually from a friend that was running mediums. I just want to show you kind of what we're doing. So I've got kind of what would be a pollen frame here. And then in this box above the excluder, and then this box above the excluder, we're going to have a couple of pollen frames, and then we're going to actually move some emerging brood from the brood chamber up. Queen stays down here. We're going to move some emerging brood up. Alright, kind of stack this back up. We put some pollen down in there. We've got a brood frame. There's a brood frame in that. And kind of a slot where we can put the deep frame. Yeah, it's two mediums is definitely deeper than one deep frame. They'll build a little burr comb. It's not a big deal. Just scrape it off, use it for your wax collection or whatever. So like I said, queen's down below. She's raising brood. You can see that. There's laying away pretty good. Pretty good pattern. You can see that kind of starting to hatch out. They're back feeling a little bit of it. Hatch out. That's what you want. So what we're trying to do is, we have resources up there, the pollen for them. Trying to keep nurse bees above the excluder. They'll come up above the excluder and draw out our cells for us. So next we gotta do some grafts. I just wanted to take a second here and kind of explain a little bit better what I'm doing. Probably repeat a lot of what I kind of said in the little bits that I did. What I'm showing here is how to produce good quality queens, some of the best queens you'll ever raise, and you do that in queen right cell starters, and we're going to even do it as a finisher too. These are going to be queen right cell starter finishers. And maybe it'll make some people upset, I don't know. The problem I have with like traditional cell builders, and they're fine, and you can get good queens and everything's fantastic, and you can get a lot of queens and really crank out those numbers, but they're not. It's more of a emergency response is what you're inciting there, whereas what we're trying to do is more of a supersedure. It's something that's really good for like a backyard beekeeper sustainability. They tend to cull a lot more of the queens. They tend to not accept all the cells that you graft. And what I'm getting at is, like, I don't know if you want them to always, this goes back to the bees know best. My experience doing it this way is the bees raise, sorry, the bees raise better queens, bigger queens that are better at mating flights, queens that last longer, that produce bigger, stronger colonies. Those are the ones that get accepted in this setup, per my experience. Some colonies, I don't know, for whatever reason, some genetics, some colonies that you do this in, they do it better than other colonies. Some colonies will start raising the cells, and then he'll go through and wipe them all out, you know. So it's kind of something you need to practice, play with. You know, you find some colonies that do it really well. And then the other good thing about this is it doesn't require a lot of extra equipment. You know, you're not having to have, you know, extra cell builders, extra boxes. I do this in my production colonies. Like you can see the colony that I did this in. It's a huge colony. All I did is throw the queen excluder in there, keep the queen down to the bottom 1-2 boxes, pull some brood up, and throw the grafts at it, you know. And what happens is the orientation of those graft cells indicate to the bees that that's supposed to be a queen. And like I said, it just produces phenomenal queens. I'll attach some of the pictures of some of the cells that I raise this way, some of the queens that I raise this way. I've seen other people do this. There's not a lot of videos out about this, and I don't know why. You know, I found a few kind of obscure, you know, people just kind of dropping their 2 cents. But a lot of big name people on YouTube or in big bee groups, they don't really talk about this that much. And I do know a few queen producers that do it this way. But yeah, we'll just kind of show you that step by step. And let me know what you think. If you have any questions, you know, leave it below. Subscribe, like, dislike, whatever you feel like you need to do. Let me know. Thanks. Just wanted to show this queen right here. This is one of the breeder queens that I bought this year from Jason Bragg from New River Honeybee. It's that's what we're gonna graft off today. It's a Caucasian line that he acquired through Washington State University. A lot of these bees in here yet. Well, there's quite a few that are a daughter. It's starting to hatch out. She laid that up pretty good, and then it's hatched out. Now she's back in there laying it up. So you can see some of the darker bees, gray bees coming out of it. But that's what a $1,000 breeder queen looks like. Just trying to add some diversity into the bee yard. I really like the Caucasian line. They're pretty gentle. We have an issue with European foul brood in the area. They're supposedly pretty resilient to it. I've tried some Caucasian lines from some other queen producers, and they've worked pretty good for me. The hybrids off of those have been pretty spectacular for me. Anyways, I just wanted to show you that real quick.